Students, so in the previous video we had seen about the saturating precision half-wave rectifier. Now we will see the non-saturating precision half-wave rectifier. So here we are going to go for a non-saturating precision half-wave rectifier. In this case we are going to see that we are going to use the op-amp in an inverting configuration. So when I am going to use the op-amp in the inverting configuration, the input signal is going to be given to the inverting terminal through your resistance R1 there, input resistance R1, and we are going to use two diodes D1 and D2. So here why we are going to use two diodes is you are going to have the non-saturating effect should be present. That means that my op-amp should not have a saturated output there. To bring the op-amp out of saturation and to have a high frequency response, high frequency performance, we go for non-saturating precision rectifier. So here we are going to use two diodes and a feedback resistance R2 is going to be connected between the output and the input terminal. Now we will go for the operation of the circuit. So first condition is when I am going to have my Vi to be positive. So first is when Vi is going to be positive. So the voltage at this point I will take it as your VOA voltage there, output of your amplifier. So when Vi is going to be positive, since this is going to be your inverting configuration, your VOA is going to be a negative one because inverting configuration there. So your VOA is going to be negative. When VOA is going to be negative, this positive current here in this case, because of this positive voltage, a current will be flowing here. This current will get divided like this, and here we are going to have this current again, it is going to come like this. So this is your positive voltage, that means the voltage at this point is also going to be positive, and here you are going to have a negative voltage. So negative voltage means your diode D1. So this is positive and this is negative, that means your diode D1 is going to be in the forward bias state, and diode D2, if I am going to see, the negative of this output is going to be connected to positive of the diode. That means my diode D2 is going to be in the reverse bias state. So when diode D2 is going to be in the reverse bias state, the switch is going to act like an open circuit like this. So when it is going to act like an open circuit, my circuit, if I am going to redraw, it is going to be like this. So this is minus, this is plus. Here you are going to have your resistance R1 to be present. Here I am going to have my diode to be in the conducting region, and here this diode D2 is going to be in the reverse bias state. So reverse bias state means it is going to act like an open switch. So here I am going to have my resistance R2 to be present. So that means that here you are going to have the circuit to be a closed path, but at this point, since it is going to be open, no output will flow from the output of the op-amp to the load resistance there. So in that case, we see that we are going to not get any output there. So here we can see that during the positive half cycle, there is going to be no output to be present there. So during the input voltage positive, your output is going to be negative. That means diode D1 is going to be forward biased and D2 is going to be reverse biased, and it is going to act like an open switch and no current will flow through the load resistance there. That means my V0 is going to be 0. This is the first condition there. So my second condition is when Vi is going to be negative. So when Vi is going to be negative, that means automatically my output here VOA is going to be here positive because it is connected to the inverting terminal there. So now my VOA is going to be positive. When my VOA is going to be positive, this is going to be positive, this is going to be negative. That means my diode D1 is going to be in the reverse bias condition there. So when it is going to be in the reverse bias condition, the diode D2 here in this case, this positive is going to be connected to the positive of the diode. That means my diode D2 is going to be in the forward bias state. So when it is going to be in the forward bias state, here we can see that how the circuit is going to be modified there. So here we are going to have, this is your minus, this is your plus. I am going to have my input resistance R1 to be here, and this is going to be my input voltage Vi. Your diode is going to be in the reverse bias condition, that means it is going to act like an open switch, and now I am going to have my circuit to be like this. So here this switch is going to be closed. So when it is going to be closed, it is going to be connected there. So this part of the loop will not be there, only this part of the loop is going to be there. So when it is going to be there, you can see that this circuit is going to behave like an inverting amplifier. So what is the gain of the inverting amplifier? it is minus Rf. So what is the resistor I am having here? R2. So minus R2 divided by R1 into your Vi voltage there. So here I am going to have this voltage to be a Vi. So the gain is R2 by R1 into your input voltage Vi. So since the input voltage is going to be Vi is negative, my output is going to be minus of minus Vi is minus of Vi into minus is going to be plus Vi. So for the negative cycle I am going to have the output to be a positive one. So here when Vi is positive, your VOA is positive, VOA is going to be when Vi is negative, VOA is going to be positive. That means the diode D1 is going to be reverse biased, diode D2 is going to be forward biased. When it is forward biased, here the circuit is going to behave like an inverting amplifier configuration. So the inverting amplifier configuration expression is your V0 is equivalent to minus feedback resistance your R2 by R1 into Vi. You know that Vi is nothing but negative Vi. So minus into minus it is plus. So here we are going to have the output in the positive portion of the waveform there. For the negative half cycle, you are going to have the output to be positive. So this is the operation of the non-saturating precision rectifier. So here this is what we are getting in. So here a non-saturating half-wave precision rectifier is going to be the circuit that is shown there. And Vi is going to be 0, greater than 0 volts. The voltage at the inverting input is going to become positive and forcing the output VOA to go negative. That means this is going to result in the forward biasing of the diode D1 and the op-amp output is going to drop only by 0.7 volts below the inverting input voltage there. So in that case, my diode D2 is going to become reverse biased and the output voltage V0 is 0. So when the input is going to be positive. When Vi is less than 0 or negative, the op-amp output VOA becomes positive. So that means that we are going to forward bias the diode D2 and reverse bias the diode D1 there. So the circuit will then act like an inverting amplifier and which is going to have a non-linear diode in the forward path. So the gain of the circuit can be unity when R2 is equal to R1. So V0 is equal to 0 when Vi is going to be greater than 0 and V0 is equal to minus R2 by R1 into Vi for Vi less than 0 there. So suppose if R2 is going to be greater than your R1, the output is going to be an amplified version of the input there. If R2 by R1, R2 is equivalent to R1, your output voltage will be equivalent to your Vi voltage there. So the voltage VOA that is going to be at the op-amp output is going to be minus 0.7 volts for Vi greater than 0. So why it is minus 0.7 volts is because of the diode that is going to be conducting in the forward direction. So you know that you are going to have your diode to be present here. So this is your minus, this is your plus. So here this diode is going to be conducting. So in this diode is going to conduct, this diode is going to have a voltage of 0.7 volts there. So this 0.7 volts, when I am going to take it at this point, it is going to become minus 0.7 volts there when Vi is greater than 0. So here now VOA is going to be Vi less than 0. What happens? We are going to have a gain at this point as well as the diode is going to be in series, it is going to be conducting. Again I am going to have a voltage of 0.7 volts. So this voltage plus this voltage will be the total output voltage there. So that is what we have written. Your VOA is equivalent to minus R2 by R1 into V1 plus 0.7 volts for Vi less than 0 there. So this is about your precision, there is a non-saturating precision half-wave rectifier there. So here the negative half cycle of the input is going to be passed to the output while the positive half cycle is going to be clipped off there. So if I am going to change the polarity of the diodes are going to be reversed, you will get the negative half cycle to be clipped and positive half cycle will be inverted and reproduced at the output there. So now we will see the design of non-saturating precision rectifier. So the design of an inverting amplifier is the diode should have a maximum reverse voltage which should be greater than the supply voltage there. Then the diode reverse recovery time TRR should be much smaller than the time period of the highest signal frequency to be processed. So these are the considerations we have to consider while designing a non-saturating precision rectifier there. So we'll see in the problem there. So here, design a non-saturating precision half-wave rectifier as in the figure above to produce a 2 volts peak output for a sine wave input with a peak value of 0.5 volts and frequency of 1 megahertz. Use a bipolar op-amp with supply voltage of plus or minus 15 volts. So we'll assume that the I1 current is going to be greater than your IB max, that is the current entering into the maximum bias current that is going to be across the input terminals of your operational amplifier. So I'll assume that I1 is equivalent to 500 microamps for your V1 voltage then. So now if I am going to see, we want to calculate your R1. So here in this case we know that your circuit is going to be like this. So this is your V1. So because this is your resistance R1, because of this V1 I am going to have a current I1 to be flowing. So here I know that your I1 is going to be around 500 microamps there. I'll assume that I1 is going to be 500 microamps. So now to calculate this R1, I know this V1. Anyway, you know that this is going to be a virtual ground. The voltage at this point is nothing but, if I take it as V2, V2 is going to be the virtual ground there. So here your I1 is equivalent to V1 minus V2 divided by R1. So here your V2 is going to be 0. So when it is 0, it is your I1 is equivalent to V1 by R1. So here R1 is V1 by I1. So V1 they are given in the problem as 0.5 volts. Input is going to be 0.5 volts and the I1 current we have taken as 500 microamps. That means my R1 value is going to be 1 kilo ohms. Next is I should calculate R2. To calculate R2, your R2 is going to be connected like this. So here when it is going to be connected like this is your V0. It is connected between V2 and V0. And same I1 current is only going to flow through this R2. That means my I2 is equivalent to flowing from node V2 to V0. So it is V2 minus V0 divided by R2. So we know that your V2 voltage, since it is going to be at virtual ground, your V2 voltage is going to be 0. That means it is minus V0 divided by R2. So here R2 is nothing but minus V0 divided by I2. So I2 is nothing but your same I1 current. So we can have it as your I1 current. So V0 by I1. V0 is nothing but output voltage is 2 volts. 2 divided by 500 is 4 kilo ohms. So we don't have a standard 4 kilo ohm resistance. Instead we will be using a 3.9 kilo ohm resistance there. And next is I have to find out what is the compensation resistor there. The compensation resistor at the non-inverting terminal is nothing but the parallel combination of your R1 and R2. So R3 is equal to R1 parallel R2. So I am going to find out 1K. The standard value is 3.9K. So 1K parallel 3.9K is nothing but 796 ohms. So we don't have standard 796. So instead we go for the next range, that is your 820 ohms is going to be the R3 resistor value there. So here now to find out the diodes, that is their recovery time, diode reverse recovery time. In this case your reverse voltage of the diodes should be V2 should be greater than your supply voltage. So by how much it is your VR should be greater than VCC minus of minus VE, the total supply voltage there. So total supply voltage is VCC is 15 volts minus VE is going to be minus 15 volts. 15 minus of minus 15 is 30 volts there. That means my diode reverse voltage should be greater than 30 volts there. And next is the diode reverse recovery time should be less than your T value there. So here we are going to calculate this TRR is nothing but T by 10. So here in this case I can take this T is nothing but 1 by F. So here the frequency is going to be 1 megahertz. So 10 into 1 megahertz is going to be here, multiply it 1 by 10 megahertz is going to be around 0.1 microsecond. So megahertz is 10 per 6. So if I take it to the numerator, it will become 10 per minus 6. 1 by 10 is nothing but 0.1. So the diode reverse recovery time is going to be 0.1 microsecond. So here next we are going to see two output precision rectifier. So the precision half-wave rectifier is going to have two output terminals, VA and VB there. So the diode D2 is going to be connected in series with the op-amp output terminal and the resistance R2 is going to be connected to the inverting input terminal there. Again, the inverting terminal is going to be connected to the resistance R4, and the resistance R4 has been added in series with diode D1. So the name tells it is here 2 output. So 2 output means I am going to have here one output, and this is going to be another output there, and the signal is going to be connected to the inverting amplifier there. So to the inverting terminal I have connected the signal. That means it is in the inverting amplifier configuration. Now the signal is going to be fed through your input signal here R1, and the feedback resistance I am going to use is two feedback resistances. One is R2 and the other one is your R4 there. So this R2 is going to be connected to your diode D2. So here in this case, this diode D2 is going to be connected between the output of your op amp and the output of your circuit there. That is, first output is your VA output there. Similarly, a diode D2 is going to be connected between the output of the op amp and the output, second output of your op amp there. So here now we will see how the operation of the circuit is going to be. So now first is your VA is going to be positive. So when VA is going to be positive, the voltage at this point is going to be positive. So when this voltage is going to be positive, it is connected to the inverting amplifier configuration. That means my output voltage is going to be negative. When this voltage is going to be negative, when negative is going to be connected to the diode D2, and this negative of the diode D2 is going to be connected to positive, means this diode will be now in the reverse bias state. So when it is going to be in the reverse bias state, this is going to act like an open circuit there. Now coming to the lower part, if I am going to see this D1, this negative is going to be connected here. So negative to negative means forward bias, and here this is your positive, this positive will come here. So D1 is going to be in the forward bias state. So when VI is going to be positive, and if I take this voltage to be a VOA, your VOA is going to be negative. So when VOA is going to be negative, your diode D2 is going to be in the reverse bias state. So when diode D2 is going to be in the reverse bias state, my D1 diode is going to be in the forward bias state there. So when D1 diode is going to be in the forward bias state, the circuit is going to get modified like this. So this is your minus, this is going to be a plus. Here I am going to have my resistance R3 to be present. So here, from here, if I am going to see, I am going to have a resistance R4 to be present, and this diode D2, D1 to be a short circuit there. But in this case, it is going to be open circuit, so we can leave it, and this is going to be your VI input voltage there. Now you can see that this is your feedback resistance R4 and this is your input resistance R1. So my output voltage is nothing but, here in this case, it is an inverting configuration. So inverting is minus, feedback resistance is what? R4 divided by R1 into VI. That is your first condition there. That is when VI is positive. Next, so in that case, when this is going to be positive, my output voltage is going to be minus R4 by R1 into VI. So here my output voltage is going to be at VB. So I can say that VB I am going to get when VI is going to be positive. So since this minus sign denotes, my output is going to be inverted. So you can see that my output is going to be inverted. So my output is going to be like this during your VI is positive. Now coming to VI is negative. So when VI is going to be negative, the voltage at this point is going to be negative. When the voltage at this point is negative, my VOA voltage is going to be positive. When VOA voltage is going to be positive, this diode D2 is going to be forward biased. So when this diode D2 is going to be forward biased, this part of the circuit is going to act as an inverting amplifier. Now coming to D1, this positive is going to be connected to negative. That means this is your reverse biased. So this switch will open. Now this upper half is going to act as an inverting amplifier, and the output voltage what I am going to get here is your VA is nothing but minus of your feedback resistance here is going to be R2 divided by input resistance is going to be R1 into your voltage VI. So here this is nothing but a negative voltage there. So negative voltage means minus VI. So minus VI is minus into minus, it is plus. So plus R2 by R1 into VI. So for negative position also we are going to have a positive cycle there. Okay, so this is how we are going to have the two outputs of your precision rectifier. So that has been what has been explained here. During the positive half cycle of the input, op-amp output terminal is going to go negative. That means causing the diodes D1 to be forward bias and D2 to be reverse bias there. So the op-amp is going to act as an inverting amplifier, and VB is equal to minus R4 by R1 into Vi. Now there is going to be no current that is going to flow through your resistance R2, and at the same time your diode D2 is going to be in the reverse bias condition there. Now R2 is going to be connected to the virtual ground at the op-amp inverting input terminal there. The output at point A is going to remain at ground level for the duration of the positive half cycle of the input. When the input is in negative half cycle, the op-amp output goes positive, that is diode D1 is reverse bias and D2 is forward bias. So resistors R1 and R2 combine with the op-amp to perform an inverting amplifier there. So VA is minus R2 by R1 into minus VI. So with D1 is going to be reversed and no current is going to flow in the resistance R4, with R4 connected to the ground, virtual ground there. So in that case we say that the output at the terminal B is going to be 0. So a precision rectifier with positive half cycle of the output is going to be got at terminal A, and at negative half cycle it is going to be got at terminal B. Thank you.